Welcome to today's seminar. I'm Ron Nicoletti, and I'm joined by track announcer Larry Comas, my good buddy. Larry, took us all meet, but we finally get to do a show together.
Well, Christina headed out of town, so they asked about 26 people to see if they would do it. Every one of them said no, so here I am.
I knew they'd find somebody, but I didn't think it would be you. You know, Larry, the big story, of course, besides going to 3 days a week racing, is the Rainbow Six carryover. It is up there. It's $4.5 million.
Unbelievable. It's been, what, a couple of months since it was hit, but it's certainly due to be hit one of these days. That one lone ticket with all 6 winners. Maybe today's the day, but we're getting up to that $5 million mark. It was over $5 million on Florida Derby Day.
Yeah, and you know that today with the 9-race card, it starts in the 4th race, so make sure you do your handicapping a little earlier today. And first, before we get started, I want to take a little trip down memory lane, and we're going to go back and look at our signature event of the meeting, and that's the 2014 Best Salute Stable Florida Derby that you called, and we're going to take a look at the stretch call of that race.
Sent along. Constitution is going to get through an opening on the inside. Here he comes, bounding through on the rail. Constitution up the rail with Javier Castellano, head and head with Wildcat Red. On the outside, General A-Rod, Cairo Prince. It's Wildcat Red. Constitution head and head. Wildcat Red. Constitution won a Florida Derby, and Constitution has won. He beats Wildcat Red.
Well, that was quite a performance by Constitution, but Wildcat Red right in there. What did you take from this race as far as going forward for the first leg of the Triple Crown?
I thought it was really positive for both Constitution and Wildcat Red. I mean, to come through an opening like Constitution did after only 2 career starts, having dirt kicked in your face right behind the leaders, and when that open went there, you know, Javier sent Constitution through there. Willingly he went through, and I think it's a very good sign that here's a horse, even though he's only run 3 times, he's ready for that next step. And Wildcat Red, when Constitution went at him, took the lead, he said, "Oh no, I'm still going." And he kept running and running and running, and it made for a terrific race, so I'm looking forward to seeing what both those horses do next time.
And what'd you take from Cairo Prince, who was coming off a bit of a layoff and ran 4th in the race? Do you think he moves forward off that? And do you think he has a chance to get into the Classics?
Well, I think you have to be somewhat disappointed by the way he ran. I mean, yeah, he got caught outside. Maybe it was the time between the Holy Bull and the Florida Derby. Who knows what the reason was, but he just didn't run the race anybody expected him to run. You know, I would hope the way the point system works in Kentucky that he will be able to get in and get another chance in the Kentucky Derby, but he is what they call on the bubble there. So we'll see if he manages to get into the race. But the other 2 will be there, and certainly it's going to be a lot of fun to see how they do.
Well, a lot of those questions will be answered as far as the points tomorrow with the running of the Wood and the Santa Anita Derby. But we wanted to show a horse a social inclusion that I know really impressed you back on, I think it was March 12th. He came here, and he's the 2-to-1 favorite in the Wood tomorrow up at Aqueduct. You'll see his performance right now.
In 1:10 and 3, and Social Inclusion has opened up from Honor Code. The others are far behind. We're All Set's going to be 3rd, but Social Inclusion has run another strong race. A powerful performance, defeating Honor Code by about 8.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, everybody was talking about Honor Code. It was all about, here comes Honor Code back to the races, making his first start as a 3-year-old. Can't wait to see what he does. And Social Inclusion stole the show from him. He absolutely destroyed him. He won by 10, the official margin in that race. And off of that, 2 career races, just 2, he's the favorite in the Wood Memorial. However, he didn't draw a very good post for tomorrow. You
know, it's tough to win from outside the outside post, and he is the 2-to-1 morning line favorite. If he can win from out there, he stamps himself as probably the one to beat in the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, if he wins the Wood by, you know, a significant margin, or just wins it at all, depending on maybe what happens out on the West Coast with Candy Boy and California Chrome in the Santa Anita Derby, you would have to think that Social Inclusion off of just 3 starts can be the favorite. And how cool is that? 85-year-old Manny Asperua heading to the Wood with the favorite. That's a pretty cool story.
That's a pretty good story, and of course a long-time trainer both here at the Gulfstream and all the South Florida tracks. Okay, so that's the little look back at what's happening as far as the move to the Triple Crown races. But we got a Friday card we got to look at, and we mentioned that big carryover in the Rainbow Six, which starts in race 4. But we will start in race 1. Oh, by the way, we got a fast main track and a firm turf course. And our track announcer, Larry Cummins, that's right, he's here.
Oh, that's me.
He'll be back after we finish this to give you all the updated scratches, everything you need to know.
I would pay more attention to the scratches that I give than the selections. We'll put it that way. This isn't exactly what I normally do. So,
well,
you know.
let's see.
I think I have a shot at beating you, though.
Oh, that's for sure. But, you know, usually when you come up here and you haven't done it much, you really have a good day. So I would pay
beginner's
attention.
luck. Right?
That's right. First race is a 6-furlong maiden claiming event, 3-year-olds and up, $12,500. And we have a field of 7 runners going postward, and right now the number 6 horse up there at 1-2, and that's a first-time gelding.
A first-time starter and a first-time gelding, both. I'd rather be a first-time starter than a first-time gelding, but in this case, Ardiente is both, and that's who I ended up with. Kind of process of elimination. I mean, you've got a lot of horses in this race that have shown early speed and have gotten tired and really haven't run well toward the end of the race, and it seems to me that a first-time starter is just the way to go in here. And Antonio Sano is certainly one of the top trainers around. Paco's riding, that's always a good sign. So that's the direction I went for. You know, the one that I picked second is a little interesting. Unbroken Circle, who's had 2 starts, got beat the length of the stretch both times, but, you know, is trained by Wayne Catalano, who's obviously a very, very good trainer. And the horse had excuses both times. Didn't have the best of starts and had to rush up. And going from maiden 50,000 to maiden 12.5 is a huge drop. So, maybe that'll keep the horse going a little bit. That's why I picked that horse second. But it seems like everybody, at least early, is sticking with Ardiente.
Yeah, I went to the inside with Little Barders, dropping to the bottom at Maiden Scale. He showed speedy tired. That was during October, November. So coming back off a layoff, trainers Jose Garofalo talking about a good trainer. He can get him ready to run after that layoff. Also have this 6 on the ticket for all the reasons Larry mentioned. Going to the second race, this one is a mile event. It's an allowance optional claimer. Fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up, and no scratches in the race thus far. I went to the inside with the number 1, Awesome Val, and this one will depart from the inside. He set the pace last time out, finished second as the favorite this level and distance. Jorge Navarro, the trainer, doing a really good job, and one of the jocks that he uses, Pedro Cotto Jr., will handle what I believe is the inside speed in the race.
Yeah, absolutely. The one to catch for sure, and certainly one of the favorites in here. I think it on paper, to me, it was a two-horse race, that one, and Dreamlicious, who I ended up going for. Peter Walder, first time off the claim, off of a 2-month layoff. I mean, obviously the horse had a very good trainer in the past in Bill Kaplan, but Peter Walder certainly does very well when he claims horses, and I think this horse has got a shot to run down Awesome Val, who I picked second in the race.
Yeah, we just have our exacta flip-flop. I also threw the 2 Malibu Mudslide in, making the second start since the claim by Marty Wolfson. Got a little trouble last time out. He ducked inward at the start. He steadied on the back stretch. So there is license to improve. And talking about good trainers, Marty Wolfson's certainly one of the top trainers on the Florida circuit. We're going to the turf for the third race. Now that we're going to turf, we're going to stretch it out to 1 mile and 7/16, and it's an allowance optional claimer for 4-year-olds, and the claiming price is $35,000. And Larry, I see you went with the number 2, Symphony 41.
I did, from the David Fox barn with Elvis Trujillo riding. This horse has been showing a decent amount of speed, 1 1/16 races, and you know, 1 7/16 is obviously a long way to go, but I think that this horse can you know, get out there, and I like, the longer they go, I like front runners. You know, that it seems like it's the complete opposite, but they sometimes get out there, set an easy pace, everybody goes to sleep, and all of a sudden they got plenty of horse left. And I could see that happening here with Symphony 41. Elvis Trujillo, a great rider on the front end in here, and I went for this horse to try to take him all the way at that long distance.
Well, I got him on my ticket, and I like your reasoning. And I went with the number 5, Cozy Kitten, is cutting back just a tad after finishing a well-meant third against this caliber of competition. That was going 1.5 miles, so just a mini turn back. The trainer is Milt Wilson and has Paco Lopez on the son of Kitten's Joy. And Kitten's Joy, we don't have to tell you about Kitten's Joy, how good they run on the turf here at Gulfstream Park all over the country. Also, you know, use the number 4, Arc Above. We have the same trifecta, we just got to box them up.
You know, kind of an interesting class drop there with Arc Above, I noticed, and it's one of those ones, you know, who's probably the best horse in the race, having run against the best horses, but you kind of wonder why the horse is in for that claiming price. One of those somewhat suspicious clap drops, I think, for Arc above.
Yeah, and Christophe Clement, the trainer, and you got Jersey Joe Bravo, and this is formerly Jersey Larry Comas, as you know.
Once known as.
Once known as, he will now be the track announcer at Churchill Downs along with Gulfstream Park. We're going to flip it over to the fourth race, and we've been mentioning this is where that Rainbow Six kicks in with over $4.5 million in the ticket. And this one is a 5-furlong turf event. It's a starter optional claimer. 4-year-olds and up, 3 scratches in the race. The 1 Thomas Hill, the 4 Rip Roaring Richie, and the 6 Rhubarb Sauce. And a note on Rhubarb Sauce, the 6 was my long shot today, so we'll not have a long shot on the card. And we both seem to have found number 7, Wicked Tune.
What's that expression you use? What do you got to get hit with a building or something?
What do you got to get hit in the head with a rock?
Hit in the head with a rock. I think that's the case with Wicked Tune. The horse just looks the best in this race. I mean, the horse just runs faster than everybody else. Had been running against stakes horses and consistently well. If you look back in the past performances back last year, when Wicked Tune was running at this level, he won 3 races in a row. Just at this particular class level, I think just way too good for these horses, and I could see Wicked Tune winning this race pretty easily.
Can you see yourself singling Wicked Tune in the Rainbow Six ticket?
I think I would.
Yeah,
I would single this horse.
To make you add more, and as you know, the Rainbow Six only a 20-cent denomination, so you can use more horses, especially if you're in agreement with us and you single the number 7 Wicked Tune. 5th race, a 6-furlong maiden claiming event. Fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. Claiming price is $12,500. Scratch, the number 6, Go to Work. The number 9, Formal Quality. The number 6, Go to Work, was one of my top selections, so moved it up. And the jockey on the 7 is Abdil Hayen. And I learned to say Hayen from this guy right here. I was calling him Jain for a while, and you...
Yeah, I really let you know about that.
Yeah, you did.
But come on, Ronnie.
Come on. So
come on.
Abdil, I'm sorry. Number 7 was my top pick, 5-star Dixie. How'd you see it?
I went with Denim and Pearls, who was run once and didn't finish, so that's not usually a good sign. But, you know, sometimes things just happen. You know, first time out, the horse got bet, was 5-2, showed speed, completely stopped in the stretch. Paco Lopez is back up. Eddie Please has been working this horse really well. Bullet workout last time out, putting blinkers on. I think that Eddie Please have figured out whatever the problem was, and why not take a shot of the? Yeah, sometimes you like that. A horse just totally, you give him that one chance that say, hey, you know, things happen. Forget about it. Let's try this again, and that's my philosophy with Denim and Pearls.
Well, if this is scary for you, we're thinking alike on that horse, so you don't want to be thinking like I think. I went with the number 7, 5-star Dixie. This one drops to the bottom after failing to handle the turf, but that was against $25,000 maidens going 5/8. Scooter Dickey's the trainer. Abdil Hayen in the saddle. It's the daughter of 5-star Dave. Got Denim and Pearls on the ticket for all the reasons you mentioned, and added a first-time starter, Weston Ania, I think it's pronounced, and I don't know if they're naming my hometown Weston in there.
I think it is. Weston, Indiana. It's like sort of like Indiana, West Indiana.
West Indiana, and
something
from
like
the Giuseppe Cederna barn. And
he's good with first-time starters every once in a while.
Definitely, that's why.
And they pay well.
You have to put them on the ticket, and I think you got to go a little deep in there on your Rainbow Six ticket. The 6th race, we're back sprinting on the grass at 5 furlongs. Turf event, maiden claiming fillies and mares 3 and up, scratch the 7. Jockey on the 2, Abdil Hayen. On the 3, it's Shannon Uski. I went with the 10, Miss Livonia. You went with the 11, Sweet Butterfly.
Yeah, these two both look like they've got a big shot in here. Sweet Butterfly for Jane Sibeli went to the turf last time out and ran very, very well with Dylan Davis up and gets Orlando Boca Chica today. I don't mind that far outside post going 5/8 of a mile. They have plenty of time to get over there, and I don't think it'll be a problem for Sweet Butterfly. Kind of a wide open race. I think this horse will sit a perfect trip with Miss Livonia going out to the front, Sweet Butterfly stalking the 2 of them, maybe 1-2 around there, and hopefully, for my sake, the 11 runs down the 10. For your sake, hopefully that doesn't happen.
Yeah, because I went with the 10. Miss Livonia should have those proverbial screws tightened after returning from that approximate 3-month layoff. As Larry mentioned, set the pace, finished 3rd. Trainer Mike Maker, you know what kind of fantastic meeting he had. He's 29% with horses making the 2nd start after a 45 to 180-day layoff. Paco Lopez atop the daughter of Dixie Union. So we have our trifecta, our exacta there, sort of flip-flop. You got the 1 in second, and we'll see how the sixth race plays out. Flipping the page to the seventh, this one we're going to stretch out to 1 mile on the grass. Maiden claimer, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. We have a scratch of the 1 Bellatata and the 10 Bull-Headed Lady. I went with the number 3 horse in here, and so did you.
Absolutely. That's Sheikah from the Jonathan Shepard barn. 1 for 28, Jonathan Shepard is at the meet, which is hard to believe. You can't say this guy's a good trainer. He's a great trainer. He's in the Hall of Fame. He's one of the all-time best in both flat racing and steeplechase racing. And with Sheikah, you have to think that Jonathan Shepard is definitely due to win. Dropping from a maiden special weight to maiden 30 is a huge dive down in class, and this horse should get a decent pace. I think that's the key for Sheikah in here, because she comes rolling at the very end of this race. I don't mind the cut back to a mile at all. Usually when you run a mile, the pace is hotter. They get out there, they start moving fast early, and that gives an opportunity for the closers to come. And Joe Bravo does a really good job on closers on the turf course. He also tends to get them into the race a little bit earlier, and I like that switch to Joe.
Yeah, we have agreement on our exactor here. I put the number 7, 2, Good to Be True in second, and so did Larry. This one is another getting some class relief today. Failed to hit the board in 4 local turf outings, but that was against maiden special weight company, as you mentioned. Phil Gleaves, Elvis Trujillo in the saddle. We talked about Elvis a little earlier, so it looks like the logical 2 in that race. I ended up to try with the number 9, Heaven Help Me, and they're stepping up to this level after Jane Sibeli, Gabrielle Saez. It's a 3-year-old daughter of Broken Vow. Now, the 8th race this afternoon is 7 furlongs, allowance optional claimer, 4-year-olds and up. The claiming price in here is $100,000. I know you had number 1, Action Andy, on top of your ticket. We're going to take a look at his latest victory, the stretch goal of Action Andy's latest victory back on March 14th.
And you'll see that Action Andy's the horse on the inside, battling down the stretch with Cajun Breeze, and that's A Priority in third. Those are some really nice horses, and Action Andy wins this race with ease under Paco Lopez. You'll see that the horse pulls away and nearly breaks the track record. Look at those fractions: 22.3, 45 flat, 108 and 2, and finishes up in 114.89, which is just off the track record. That was a really, really good performance in here. I think this field is a little bit easier than Action Andy ran against last time, so why not pick this horse again? Paco is back in the saddle. The horse is running for a $100,000 claiming tag, so I wonder if somebody will reach in based on that last effort.
Oh, it sounded like you might be thinking of it.
Yeah, you got some money I can borrow?
I'll take, what's 1/100%? I went with the 2 Val. I mean, all the reasons that Larry mentioned on number 1, Action Andy. I'm shipping it from Tampa and just blew the doors off the competition. Number 2, Valid, beaten the neck by a classy repeat winner, Golden Lad, back here in December, makes his first start. He defeated allowance level competition, of course, down Marcus Vitale. What a great season he had here at Gulfstream Park. Actually got a grade 1 victory. This horse is grade 3 stakes place. Action Andy going to be short price. I figure maybe I'll take a shot with number 2, Valid, on the ticket. And we both put the number 5, Managed Account, on our ticket. Jamie Ness does a fantastic job. He's 28% with horses turning back in distance. Now our 9th and final race on the card is 1 mile on the turf, maiden claiming event, 3-year-olds and up, $16,000. Scratch to 6, 8, and 13. And I wanted to show you the trouble that the 3 horse in here, Slickerego, had in its last race. He was sort of making a move on the inside, and the leader of this race slammed into the rail, and he had to check sharply. You'll see it here. The 1 horse hitting the rail, and there is the 10 going back. That turned out to be a pretty good race. It's a key race. 3 horses that come out and run, and I think that he can run well in there, you know, with a clean trip. And I just think dropping those couple of notches on the maiden scale will help the number 3, Slickerego.
Oh, yeah, the horse, you could see the jockey really had to take up there. When, I would think if I saw a horse in front of me hit the rail, I'd be a little concerned too, and get out of the way, and that's what happened. So I agree with you, certainly an excuse there. You know, I went with an angle I went for earlier in the card, the exact same angle. Eddie Pliza, Paco Lopez, a horse that didn't finish last time.
That's your angle.
That's my angle of the day. Same thing, King Dixie, Paco Lopez back aboard, blinkers on once again, working well, a bullet workout. It's the exact same pattern as the one earlier in the card, so I figured if I'm going to do it once, let's do it again. So we'll see how the horse runs earlier in the card. If I was right, bet back on King Dixie. If I'm wrong, don't bet back on King Dixie. Or maybe one of them will work and the other one won't. Who knows?
We'll see how it works out. You know, Larry will be calling the races here at Gulfstream Park. Your final weekend for the summer. You'll be back, of course, in December, but you're off to call the races at Churchill Downs. Tell us about it. You excited?
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to heading over there, and I've got a couple of stops along the way. I'm going to leave on Tuesday, drive up to New Jersey, pick up some stuff at my place around Monmouth Park, and then take a road trip to Charlestown, West Virginia, to call the Charlestown Classic, which is going to be Game On Dude against Lee, the winner of the Don Handicap.
Oh, wow.
Those two are going to go at it in that $1.5 million race at Charlestown. That race is at night. I get up the next day and drive to Louisville, Kentucky, and I'll be there on the 20th of April for their meet. And, you know, it's kind of cool. Now I'm going to have off in July and August. Totally be off with nothing to do, so I'm just going to hang out in Jersey, and I'll end up going to Monmouth Park and heckling Travis Stone, their new track announcer there.
Yeah, you know, I was going to say, you sure your car is not going to want to go back to New Jersey once it gets to Charlestown? I mean, how long did you call the races at Monmouth Park?
Exactly 20 years, believe it or not.
20 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
I remember the first Haskell I ever called at Monmouth Park was 1994, won by Holy Bull.
Holy Bull.
Who was certainly one of our favorites, and yeah, a great 20 years at the Jersey Shore. Going to miss that place. It was a lot of fun, but they can't get rid of me. I'm going to come back there and hang out, and then we'll be back here in December. Can't wait.
Can't wait for you to get back. And that's it for the daily seminar for me, Larry Comas, and Keith up in Christine Lee's.
Oh, yeah, we'll see Keith after the races.
We'll see Keith after the races today, and have a great day. Don't forget the Rainbow Six starts in race 4. $4.5 million in the jackpot carryover.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Good luck, everybody.